In this section we need to talk about how we can make our RAG application better. A lot of people understand that if we upload data in a vector database, we will only get good answers back if the data is good. And right now I want to give you a lot of tips, and over the next video we will dive into detail. So let's just see, using vector databases efficiently or also using RAG efficiently. It's always all about the data. And the first thing is, of course, that you need data. If you want to train a RAG application, I hope that you get that you need data. If you want to do this for other people, you need to ask for the data. You can search the data, or you can also scrape the data. And in the next video I also want to show you how you can do scraping. But one thing here, you need to do this ethically. So please only scrape web pages that are allowed to scrape. Normally, like documentations and so on, you can always scrape them. People want that you scrape them. People want that you share the information about this. But maybe like on GitHub, it's not really allowed to scrape. You should always ask if it's legal to scrape this. So if you want to scrape, read the terms of use if it's allowed, or you can also do something like this. If you go, for example, on youtube.com and then you type in /robots.txt, you see what's allowed and what's not allowed. Basically, nothing is allowed at YouTube. And the same thing is true for GitHub. If you type in github.com/robots.txt, you see that a lot of stuff is basically not allowed. So you always need to type this stuff in. If you don't find anything, you should also read the terms of use. But normally, like on most documentations, like from LangChain, or maybe if you work with somebody, they will tell you, hey, it's allowed that you can scrape. So this is important. So first you need to get your data. Ask for it, and if you ask for data, you will not get clean data, you will get most likely PDFs or text files or something else. You can search for the data, of course, or you can scrape it, and then you do it ethically. The next important thing is that you do not store unnecessary data in your application. So you do not want to have unnecessary data in your vector database. Only insert relevant information. Avoid unimportant or redundant data. This is really important so that the data is a little bit smaller and more concise. Q&A and Markdown as the optimal format. Question-answer pairs simplify search. So this works really great. If you have Q&As, this is perfect. Store it in a text file and there you go. Store compact, directly accessible information. And convert please bad data into Markdown. I will show you exactly how you can do this. You can summarize long texts, of course, extract essential points. Here you can also use, for example, Llama Parse, I will show you these, or you can use a normal LLM. You can use ChatGPT or Gemini. Gemini is great because Gemini has a gigantic context window. Use shorter chunks for better search results. Don't worry about chunking, I will talk about this later in detail. Then use the right chunk size, overlap and text splitter. Like I said, we will go into this in detail, but for a general rule, balance detail, depth and efficiency. If the chunks are too small, you miss out maybe some information. If the overlap is too small, you miss out maybe some information. If the chunks and the overlap, you can also say like this, and the same thing is here true. So basically, if chunks and overlap is too big, you will have lower retrieval quality. It's slow and it's expensive. So you need to balance this out. There is no hard rule because you need to test these things out. Test the bot with queries. Check if the desired answers are retrieved. Adjust chunking or structure if needed. So basically this is the overview, and in the next video we will go into more detail. We will talk exactly how you can scrape, how you can get data, how you can make data into Markdown, how you can use Llama Parse, Firecrawl, Julia, how you can make summaries with Llama Parse, chunk size, chunk overlap, and embeddings. So you will basically be a RAG expert after these videos. See you in the next one.